There has never been a draft in sports like the 1989 NFL Draft. The draft consisted of 4 Hall of Famers selected in the top 5 picks of this draft. There have been impactful drafts though since then, such as the 1983 NFL Draft, though none may be more impactful as this one. This draft would change the NFL landscape forever. But a stacked draft class like this doesn't come without controversy, such as early round busts, not enough Hall of Famers, and if this class really defined an era. And even if Jerry Jones was making the right moves. And this all started with a young quarterback named Troy Aikman. He had played for UCLA, posting a 20-4 record as the starting quarterback for the Bruins. He had passed for 5,298 yards and 41 touchdowns while being the starting quarterback for UCLA from 1988 to 1989, winning the 1988 Davey O'Brien Award as the nation's top quarterback. Though there was still skepticism behind him, as he could not lead his team to the national championship during his time at UCLA, though he was still seen as NFL ready. The Cowboys just so had the first pick that year. The Cowboys in 1988 finished with a record of 3-13, last place in the NFC East Division and in the NFL, though their head coach was Tom Landry. But at that time, things weren't looking too bright for the team. Even their owner, H.R. Bright, wanted to sell the team. And so the oil tycoon we know today, Jerry Jones, stepped in. And he was looking to make some changes. One of his first big decisions was to fire Tom Landry to bring in the head coach of Miami, Jimmy Johnson. This shocked the league, but if Jimmy Johnson had anything to know about football, was how to win some football games.
How about them Cowboys?
And so, with the first pick in the 1989 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys selected Troy Aikman, quarterback out of UCLA. And let's just say this was not a bad pick for America's team. Now on the other hand, it didn't go so well for the Green Bay Packers. Packers were in a different situation than the Cowboys were, as what they really needed was to bump up their O-line. And one prospect that stood out to them was none other than Tony Mandarich. And why might you ask the Packers may want him? Well, not only was he super strong, but he won UPI Lineman of the Year in 1988, the award for being the best college lineman in the nation. And during his senior year in college, he didn't even allow a single sack. Well, that may have been heavily fueled by performance-enhancing drugs. Oh my. At the time, nobody knew, and the Packers thought he would be a perfect fit. And it just so happened that the second pick in the 1989 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers selected Tony Mandarich, offensive tackle out of Michigan State. Well, he would later turn out to be a bust. While his college career was fueled by anabolic steroids, he would face strict drug testing in the NFL. And quitting steroids led to a severe drop in physical dominance, withdrawal, and a crippling addiction to painkillers and alcohol. As a human being, though, I don't think he is a bust. He has rebuilt his life back up and is now a professional photographer, web designer, and internet marketer based in Scottsdale, Arizona through his business, Mandarich Media Group. He also serves as an active public speaker and advocate for sobriety, sharing his personal story of recovering from drug and alcohol addiction to help others. Now for the third pick. And you might know him, as it is none other than Barry Sanders. And there are actually 2 top prospects in this draft named Sanders. You may know the other. Barry Sanders was a standout running back for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. And he actually backed up Thurman Thomas for his first 2 seasons as a Cowboy. Now Sanders could have definitely been the first pick in the 1989 NFL Draft. As a running back, he put the greatest individual season in college football history ever, setting 34 NCAA records in 1988 and winning the Heisman Trophy on top of that. In that 1988 season, he rushed for 2,628 yards, averaging 7.6 yards per carry and 238.9 yards per game. He rushed for 39 rushing touchdowns and has total all-purpose yards of 3,250 yards in college. He became the first Oklahoma State football player to win the Heisman Trophy, was a consensus All-American, and won the Maxwell Award and Walter Camp Award in 1988. I mean, talk about a generational player. Not only was he that good, but he only stood at a height of 5'8". I mean, how can anybody play even at that height? Oh wait, and so the Lions didn't really have a choice. I mean, they did, but why would they pass up on a generational talent who almost broke every single record in all of college football? And so the third pick in the 1989 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions selected Barry Sanders, running back out of Oklahoma State. And let's just say that was not a bad pick at all for the Detroit Lions. Now, the Chiefs had 2 options here. Either go for another Sanders or go for a linebacker, or be called the chefs again. Really 3 options here. And either way, it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, they had more than 2 options, but why wouldn't you select a national champion linebacker? The year 1988 and won SEC Athlete of the Year in the 1988 season, 1988-1989. I mean, who wouldn't want to draft this guy? And so, with the 4th pick in the 1989 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Derek Thomas, linebacker out of Alabama, another Hall of Famer from this draft. Now time for the other Sanders. You know who we're talking about. The flash, the glimmer, the lights. It's prime time. Neon Deion. Guess what college he played for? No, not Colorado, where he is the head coach at. It was Florida State. Yes, the Seminoles. His awards can astound to his play, as he was a dominant defensive back in college, as well as a great punt returner. Could he be a 2-way player in the NFL? But he was definitely a generational player, especially trying to play both sides of the ball at the pro level at that time. I wonder who is like him today. We'll see how his career turns out. Now back to Neon Deion. Another fun fact, he was an exceptional 3-sport athlete in college. He would actually play in the MLB and in the NFL at the same time. And he is the only player to have played in a Super Bowl and in the World Series. Could actually say 2 Super Bowls and 1 World Series. Now, the awards he won in college were the 1988 Jim Thorpe Award for the nation's best defensive back. He won All-American, unanimous All-American selection in both 1987 and 1988. He finished his career tied for the school record at FSU with 14 interceptions and set the FSU career record for punt return yardage. Neon Deion was definitely a generational multi-sport player. And so, with the 5th pick in the 1989 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons selected Deion Sanders, defensive back / cornerback out of Florida State University. Now, these were just some of the players in this draft. There are so many more superstars in this draft, such as Hall of Famer Steve Atwater. Now compare this draft to the 1983 NFL Draft. While the 1983 NFL Draft did have 42 Pro Bowlers, this draft had 4 Hall of Famers in the top 5 picks of this draft. And you can say there are more Hall of Famers in the 1983 NFL Draft, but the 1989 NFL Draft, you could say, defined an era and shaped a decade that would go down in history as one of the top decades in NFL history ever. Let me know your opinions. Thank you all for watching this video. This video, I spent so many hours, and I really want to make the best content out there for you all. I think people underestimate the 1989 NFL Draft, and I just wanted to show more of a comparison between the 1983 NFL Draft and the 1989 NFL Draft. I have no bias, and I love making this content for you all. God and the Lord bless. Sports Draft History is out.